Hi there, my name's Oni Snyder. I'm an associate attorney here at Carlisle, Patchen & Murphy. I practice within the firm's real estate department, handling a variety of transactional matters. I'm also a licensed title insurance agent here in the state of Ohio and do work for our title company, Cornerstone Title Agency. This is part of a series of videos that we're releasing regarding various legal issues that you should consider when you plan to invest in real estate. If there are any specific questions you have about this video or other topics you would like to see us cover, feel free to reach out to me via email at osnyder@cpmlaw.com. On this video, I'm going to discuss certain aspects of a document called an operating agreement. This video presupposes that you own your real property in an LLC. If you don't own your rental property in an LLC or are unsure of why you should, please see our other videos discussing this topic. Now, here's a quick disclaimer before we begin. This video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. Before making any decisions for you or your business, it's always best to have a candid conversation with your attorney about your specific circumstances. Now, the operating agreement is the primary governing document for your LLC. Among other things, it sets forth how the LLC is managed, how income will be allocated and distributed, and contains provisions governing transfers of LLC interest. If you're the sole owner of your LLC, the operating agreement is likely going to be short and simple because you own all the interest in the LLC and thus make all decisions for the company. However, the more owners or members of the LLC, the more complicated this document can quickly become. Now, it's easy to Google operating agreement and find a document out there that seems ready to use. But keep in mind that there are many provisions in an operating agreement that vary based on your individual situation and the structure which you and your co-owners have decided upon. So it is best to seek the assistance of your attorney when putting together this document. Talking through all of these considerations with other members and your attorney up front can save you a lot of time, money, and headaches later on. One thing you need to consider is whether your LLC will be member managed or manager managed. A lot of this depends on how the day-to-day operations are handled and what specific acts or decisions certain members are authorized to take or make. If you plan to simply own the LLC 50-50 with another person, the most common setup is member managed. This means that both members will have the ability to carry out certain actions unilaterally. However, it is common and prudent for the operating agreement to require unanimous consent for certain bigger decisions. The more common scenarios for using manager-managed LLCs are when there are 3 or more members, but less than all will have management authority, or when the majority of interests are vested in one or some, but not all of the members. Let's say there are 2 45% members and 1 10% member. In this scenario, it might make sense for both of the 45% members to be considered managers with specific powers that they don't want the other 10% member to have. Keep in mind, if you are 50-50 at the start, there might come a time when you have another minority member. If that happens, you can amend the operating agreement to better reflect the new ownership structure. You don't have to be stuck with what made sense at an earlier point in time, but no longer is the best option for your company. Deciding on whether your situation is better suited for a member-managed LLC or a manager-managed LLC is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to crafting an operating agreement that makes sense for you and your company. Another important aspect is limiting the ability of members to transfer their interests to third parties and governing what happens to a member's interest upon his or her death, disability, divorce, or any other occurrence that may give rise to the transfer of LLC interests. These topics will be discussed in separate videos. Please contact me or your Carlisle, Patchen & Murphy attorney with any questions you might have, and we'd be happy to discuss them with you. Thank you.